Hello, Oklahoma is Epic Agents. I want to give you an idea of how to be smart about farming. Today's state meeting was all about farming, and we don't want it to be like you throwing a dart at a dartboard trying to hit the bullseye while blindfolded and your hands tied behind your back. So, a little homework first. You are going to want to find out how many homes exist in the neighborhood you're looking to farm. Where can you find this information, Chuck? Well, you can look in your MLS through the tax records. You can go to possibly your county tax records, and you can search by neighborhood, and you can see how many doors there are in that neighborhood. Second piece, you want to research. What are you looking to farm with? What are the seeds? What are you planting that is going to be the expense? So let's say you're looking to do postcards. Okay, go to some real estate postcard sites, get an idea on how much per postcard they are. And you're going to want to multiply that by the number of doors in the neighborhood. And then that gives you your total expenses. Okay, so let's say 125 homes. On the average, I'm going with this jumbo two-sided postcard that has a protected coating on it so it doesn't get torn up in the mail. And on the average, it's going to cost me about $1. All right, so that's $125 a month. Then, how long am I going to farm? Don't expect a return or a result for 6 months, and you must have a budget for 12 months. All right. If you only have a budget for 6 months, I encourage you to stagger the mailings every other month so that you can go longer, so you can build this reputation in the neighborhood. And I'm going to tell you what other things you can layer in that cost nothing, and you can through that you can start building the relationships. So I came up with $125 a month. Let's see, we're going to go for 12 months. You do the math. That's going to be right around 1,250 plus 250. That's going to be $1,500 over the year that I'm going to need for this one postcard mailing that's hitting every door for 12 months. All right. That's the homework. Now, the figuring out if this is the right neighborhood. Like I said, we know how many doors are in our neighborhood. Now we need to find the turnover in our neighborhood. You will see some stats out there that say don't market to a neighborhood that where the turnover is less than a certain percentage. Well, that's not 100% accurate. Yes, that helps, yet it is not 100% accurate, and this is why. Some neighborhoods have a different price per square foot which reflects the overall price. So we're wanting to see how much activity has gone on in this neighborhood. I have my legal edition here in the MLS. I went ahead and put in the zip code because in the Oklahoma City market, we actually have more than one neighborhood named Hawthorne, or it has the Hawthorne name in it. I did 365 days. I have 7 transactions. So if there are 125 homes in my neighborhood and there are 7 selling currently over the last year, that gets me to a 5% turnover annually. That's a little lower than what most will say statistically. Most will say look for a 7% or above. Yet, hang on, there's more to this. The reason I also want to look at the turnover, it is an unrealistic expectation that you're going to get 100% of the business in your neighborhood as you're starting out. And spoiler alert, you're never going to have 100% of the business. A healthy metric to strive toward is 20%. So in this specific neighborhood where there are 7 over the year, if I take 20% of that, I am getting, that is 1.4. Let's just round that to 2, okay? What I'm gonna look at here, and this is simple math, I am going to now, to take this a step further, see it as looking like comps, okay? You wanna see what is the average price point, And then what would be your average commission of these homes? So here are those that sold. I can go to a one-line CMA, and the average price in my neighborhood on these that have sold, which I know my neighborhood is pretty consistent house to house. But right here, the average price is 328,000. If my goal is to get two a year, I'm going to take 328,000 times two. That's total sales of 656,000. I'm going to go with an even 3%, and that's 19,680. I also know that I have to pay a portion of this to Epic. So I get to keep 85% of my income prior to taxes. That gets me at $16,728. If we go back to what my expense was for the 12 months with hitting the 125 doors, my marketing budget for the year, or my marketing expense, was $1,500. If I take 16,728 minus $1,500, that is $15,228. If I divide that by a year, that's an extra $1,250, $1,269 a month. Would that make a difference in my budget, in my household? That's up for you to decide. But that is a pretty good return. Spending $1,500 over the course of the year to earn 15,228. So that is how you can go into marketing knowing confidently that when you turn a 20% return, then it will play out as you need it to. Or at least in this scenario, it did. I hope that helps. Feel free to reach out to me if you have specific questions. Have a great day.